Watch him throw the ball, we gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Die.
Oh, yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of Trap or Die Podcast. I'm your host of the Trap or Die Podcast, Mual, man. It's a post-game reaction. Eagles close out the Washington Commanders in the fourth quarter. They win the game 26-18. 26-10, really, with the garbage time touchdown by Zach Ertz. With 26-10, Eagles move to 8-2. Commanders fall to 7-4. AJ and Dre is in here. Everybody, I appreciate y'all checking in live. If you are in the chat, we appreciate you checking in. On the YouTube side, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. So I always appreciate it. Al too, I see you. Watching Chef, I see you. Xavier, G's, I see you. If you are on the Twitter side or Twitch side, we will take a couple calls if you want to call in. The link to call in is in the YouTube description. So that's the only place you can find it. So if you are not on YouTube, migrate over to that side. And if you want to call in now or like use the link, you can. We're not going to take the call right now. But if you just want to get backstage, you can do that. But yeah, we're going to get through our spiel first. Audio side, hit that follow button, rating and review, all that good stuff. You know the drill. It's definitely appreciate it. All right, so getting into the game, fellas. One of the things, it's several different angles that you can take with this game. The offense is second straight week where like there's opportunities ahead of them in different ways. Last week I mentioned there was moments where I thought Cliff got in his way, and that was more so debatable when you can look at the players just having missed opportunities. This week, Cliff got in his way several times, like blatant and obvious situations. Straying away from the running game when B-Rob is really getting started. I think B-Rob ended up with 16 carries. But there were some moments where like you're thinking you're in a second and 1 or second and 3, and you can't get 3 more yards with your running back, with your power back. Especially late in the fourth quarter, and you can't close that out. Other moments where, your offensive line is getting driven back, but there's moments where you just completely get away from the run game. I look at Jaden, fellas, and, first they mentioned the cut on his finger in the game, right? But Jaden was just off from the speed of the game. I think he was missing some throws. But then also just actual like decision making. It felt like he was pressing some a little bit. And then also he was just throwing some ducks. And I ain't never said that we're 11 weeks into the season. That's my first time ever saying he was throwing ducks. He was throwing ducks today. And that one hurts when you have some people running in stride and you can't get the ball to him. That Noah Brown one that hits his ankle. And he's rolling Noah is moving to the left and you can't get him the football. Those things hurt. Like I said, several different angles we can go. I'm gonna give y'all the floor, and y'all can kind of start off the way in which y'all saw it. But yeah, floor is y'all's.
I mean, I think first and foremost, the defense balled. The defense balled out, but it's only but so many times you can be put out there and having to stop such a dynamic player in like a Saquon Barkley, or even what Jalen Hurts brings to the table, not just as a passer, but from what he can do from an athletic standpoint outside of the pocket and create on his own. On top of that, having to stop a Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. So I want to give them kudos. I think Joe Witt Jr. did an amazing job calling this game, putting them in opportunity to win this game. I don't think for a second during the game I thought, damn, what if they had Marshawn Lattimore? Joe Witt Jr. Allowed himself to really, utilize things a bit differently. He had Michael Davis and Benjamin St. Juice pretty much sharing reps on A.J. Brown throughout the game in different series. Mikey Sanders played a solid game. Them boys was getting after Jalen Hurts. Like, I thought he was concussed. I don't know how he ended up returning back to the game, but he really was concussed after that Louisville sack on the reverse or flea flicker. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, them boys did their thing. Louisville had 2 sacks. Now, when you talk about Washington's offense, once again, man, Cliff Kingsbury is getting a bit too cute. I think he had something going with the 2-back system, misdirection, and having B-Rob and Eckler out there at the same time in the backfield was giving the Philadelphia Eagles fits. And then at some point, he just wanted to get too cute. For example, running Jaden Daniels up the middle. When you're getting dogged, like your guards are getting dogged, and they're running a bunch of loops, and your tackles are also getting dogged in the process too. So it's just Cliff just oversimplifying the game for himself. I just think that they never were able to get into a groove. Jaden never really got proper footing in certain positions. Like you said, that pass to Noah Brown should have been completed. I think that he rushed it. I really don't know what's going on with. I don't even want to blame the rib injury.
I think people are getting a little bit too comfortable with using the rib thing. I wouldn't blame it either, but something's off. I just don't know what it is, bro.
I think what's off is just the play caller. Is no rhythm. Like, it's like once you do get into a groove, then Cliff takes 2 steps back. It's just very frustrating. Then on top of that, wide receivers not necessarily getting open all game. Your number one guy, Terry McLaurin, is not getting away from Quinyon Mitchell. Quinyon Mitchell is a pretty damn good man cover corner. I know he's a rookie, so a lot of people may not know of him or whatever, but he was on Terry predominantly most of the game. I think you just seen a team that had more weapons than the other. Washington still needs some guys within that offensive line. They also need some guys on the outside alongside of Terry McLaurin. There's no reason that Terry's first reception should come in the fourth quarter. And even Austin Eckler had maybe 6-7 receptions in the first half.
Yeah, he finished with 8 for 89.
Yeah, he didn't get he got his last 2 receptions towards the end of the fourth quarter. It was just mind-boggling, man. But that's pretty much where I want to go with it. I still think it was a solid game. Washington could have won this game easily. They had a lot of opportunities, a lot of things that they could have took advantage of. They didn't. And when you don't take advantage of those opportunities, you don't put your foot on the gas, you leave the door open for a team to come back and gain some momentum, and that's exactly what happened. That's why instead of us talking about a victory this evening, we're talking about a loss.
I mean, look, one quick thing, Dre. When you have a missed field goal twice from the Philadelphia Eagles and your corresponding drive are 3 and outs both times, that ought to tell you the inability to close out compared to Philadelphia, who first off stops you on 4th down, but then takes the drive, the corresponding drive, 76 yards. 74 yards, excuse me, in 2 minutes and 57 seconds on 5 plays. They're down 12-10, and they take it 74 yards in less than 3 minutes, and they take the lead and never give it back. The very next drive that you get, you throw an interception. Dre, you got a fool.
Yeah, man. I mean, let's just say the offense owes the defense, because I think this is 2 games in a row where the defense gave the offense chances to win, especially in offense that we think is as good as they're supposed to be, as good as the numbers has been showing thus far this season. The defense has given them 2 straight games where they could have took advantage of opportunities that they didn't take advantage of. And we could talk about Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, sure, there's some things we wish Cliff Kingsbury could do a bit better, but the story of this game is that the Eagles just straight up bullied the Washington offensive line. Like, they bullied Washington's offensive line all game. Brandon Coleman probably had his worst game as a pro. He could do nothing with Josh Sweat.
You better see what he did last week.
I mean, well, we'll wait till you get the tape review, Mo. Maybe it's the same on par, whatever the case may be. But we saw Josh Sweat get by him quite a few times. I think Brandon Graham made a couple of plays on him. I mean, it was just an all-around performance where Jalen Carter just disrupted this whole damn game in the middle. He was like Dexter Lawrence or any of the best defensive tackles you could think of that's played in recent memory. But, I mean, it's nothing much you can do when you're not winning that line of scrimmage on offense. I mean, the game was really kind of lost, too, when the score was, 12-10, and you have that 2nd and 1. The 2nd and 1 in Philly territory, you're moving the ball, and you get 2 straight plays where you can't even get a yard. I think you even lose a yard, and that's when you end up going for the 4th down play.
Right. B-Rob, even AJ, I'm surprised you ain't even say this, bro. B-Rob needed a yard, bro, and the dude danced and jumped. He skipped or hopped to the other side.
I said it in my crib. I was just like, what the fuck is he doing?
I'm like, bro, you need a yard, bro. I was like, I ain't saying that. I'm just like, bro, like, I'm like, AJ, I'm waiting for AJ to say something.
I
need a yard, and it turned out to be the worst.
Later on, but
it turned out to be the worst possible outcome, bro. Because 2 plays later, you don't even know, bro. They fuck up the 4. Like, I don't like. Sam Cosby didn't even know what he was doing. Like, he just pulled to the left, bro, and just like, I'm gonna just do my job. Like, they just ran into each other. I said, yeah, they ain't getting it.
So normally I'm an advocate, especially with how this team has been performing on 4th downs this season. I mean, we've been damn good on 4th downs. I would have been pro go for it on 4th down, but after seeing how they couldn't even get a yard on 2nd and 3rd down, that's where I kicked the field goal, because I'm like, we can't get anything going on this defensive line at this point. Take the points, and then maybe you get some momentum going on the defensive side of the football. But I mean, it's just hard to win a game when the defensive line is just bullying your offensive line all game. I couldn't blame the defense today. Like I said, the defense came out there. They held a talented offense pretty much damn near all game. You're not going to hold Saquon Barkley all game if he's in a game where Philly can still run the ball. Now, if you're taking care of the opportunities that's in front of you, whereas the Eagles gave you a lot of opportunities to go up multiple scores, you possibly take Saquon out of the game. Like, Saquon's not going to be running the ball as much as he's running the ball. But the more opportunities you give Saquon the ball, and the defense kept trying to give the offense opportunities, like, maybe we're stopping this guy, we're stopping him, to the point where you get worn down at the end of the game. So to me, again, this is on the offense, and Jaden Daniels, again, I'm with you all. I do not know what's up with him. I don't want to blame the ribs, because we've seen him have good games after the rib injury. I don't know if it's the cold weather. A lot of people have been kind of talking about the cold weather thing.
Please
I don't know. I mean,
like people act like in Baton Rouge it's just 90 degrees every day. Like,
well, it ain't 40 degrees down there every day. This is what he's playing in. Yeah, but again, I mean, we just kind of grasping at kind of straws to kind of figure out what's going on right now. But at the end of the day, he's still, look, Jaden Daniels. I'm not discouraged by anything I'm seeing from Jaden Daniels. I mean, he's bound to have these type of games. You're not going to have a perfect game every game, but at some point you do hope that he's going to pick this back up and get this thing going back on track, towards the end of the season.
I just wanted to say one thing, bro, because it was on the defensive side. You said you don't blame the defense. I don't blame them either. But there's one moment where you do, I do sit here and say, two different periods of the game, right? One aspect, they went 9-16 on 3rd down. That's now granted, some of those were like 3rd and shorts because they played the 1st and 2nd downs well. But still, matter of fact, I'm sorry, some of them weren't, because you got Jalen scrambling outside the pocket to get 1st downs. But point being, 9-16 on 3rd downs, that's one angle where you're like, all right, bro, if like you had your first half where you played good football, bro, but at the same time, if you want to win this game, bro, you have to be consistent on third downs. And then the second one was the drive in which they didn't get the fourth down, the offense didn't, and you give up a 74-yard drive in under five in 5 plays. Like that one is the critical one where it's like if there's any time to get a stop, this is the stop that you need to get. Those are the only two that I point to where I'm like, all right, we really needed y'all in this moment, and we couldn't get there.
But the defense is also gassed because Washington's offense is not sustaining drives.
I don't disagree, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they literally go in tempo and not converting. So it's like when they finish the game, one of 10 or 1 of 9 on third downs, like
3 of 12 on third down, the offense.
Okay, yeah. So it's like you're not even sustaining drives. You could do tempo all you want to, but you need to convert. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's only but so much you could do. Like they created a good rotation, but I mean, yeah, the NFL may not value running backs as far as dollar amount, but Saquon's one of the best running backs in the NFL. Like he's going to break something at some point. And, that's what you've seen happen towards the end of the game. He broke something. It's kind of like the Baltimore Ravens game. They did a great job of slowing down Derrick Henry. But at some point, you're going to catch that groove, and you ain't going to be able to stop that man.
But one last thing for me, I guess, as far as the initial thoughts are, this is a game that kind of showed me that wide receiver is a huge need. Because they were not even a factor for the most part in this game. No one. I mean, whether it be Terry, Noah, none of the wide receivers were able to be a factor. I even thought to myself late in that game, like, have we even taken a downfield shot in this game? Like, I don't even remember taking a downfield shot at all in the game.
It never happened.
Yeah.
They ain't had no time,
over
bro.
25 yards.
Yeah.
And
I'm not making that as an excuse. I really think they didn't have no time because that old line was getting
they was getting dog. I mean, Cosme, you'd be like, damn, he's one of the highest paid guards in the league. He was getting
Jalen Carter was taking them to church.
And I guess maybe from Cliff's standpoint, it's probably easier to try to double team or chip a end rusher versus a D tackle. They didn't really hit Jalen Carter with many double teams. I mean, I don't really think any of the other guys like a Josh Sweat, Bryce Huff, Nolan Smith, Brandon Graham necessarily had impactful days, but Jalen Carter was just disrupting things straight off the snap. Like he was beating his man immediately and getting in the backfield, whether it be pass, rush, a pass down, a rush down. Like he was just back there. And that boy was looking like an all-pro. He's a talented guy, man. So it'll be interesting to see how they maneuver in the next matchup for sure. I don't know if the short week kind of like interfered with the game plan, but I really couldn't even tell you what Washington's strategy was in this particular game from an offensive standpoint. I have no clue.
Yeah, I mean that's a really good way to surmise it. I don't know what the game plan was. I feel like the screens are harder to come by, and I think Dre, you mentioned this last show. But screens are harder to come by, and not only that, like defenses are playing the receivers tighter, so it's like it's harder to even get screens off because like if you try to throw it, it's you already in the vicinity, like you testing the DB who's right on the receiver. I don't think that this offense is regressing, right? I think that this offense has hit a bump in the road where, again, you played Pittsburgh a few days ago. You played Philadelphia 3 days later. You asked me, why did I pick Washington to lose this week when I haven't picked them to lose since maybe the Cincinnati game? This team in Philly to have them up against the short turnaround is how I seen, not literally how I seen this unfolding the way it did, but like the horsepower that Philly has aka Saquon, because that's all it was on the offensive side. And because I was actually surprised in the way in which Sanders still played against AJ Brown. Like he held his own from start to finish. He had two critical PBUs, both in the end zone, one against AJ Brown, one against Devontae Smith. Played them both perfectly. Well, one of them was a PBU, the other one he just ran AJ to the sideline. But point being, like, I just think that these guys have the horses that Washington was going to struggle with in a short period of time. And I think there isn't a regression with this offense is where I was getting at. I just think that this is one of those things where they really need this 10-day rest. They can do some self-scouting. They can identify the trends that they're clearly trapping themselves into. Like, why do they stray away from a run why do they stray away from the run game in certain moments of a game? Like, what do those tendencies look like? Why aren't we able to get Jaden outside on the edges anymore? How can we do it? And now that B-Rob is back, what's the most effective way to get this offense back in shape? Like, do we need to get back to the 2 tight ends and keep them in line with the 12 personnel or 22 personnel or 21 personnel? Like all these self-scouting opportunities they have in this 10-day period before they actually get into their real bye week in a few weeks. I just think that this is the moment for them on that side of the football. And I think the good thing is, while they aren't regressing, the defense is surging. And it's just a matter of time till they start to click. But my biggest thing when I say a matter of time is that you ain't always guaranteed that. Like, say it's a matter of time. I was talking to Mark Bullock, who I do the film session. Sometimes he comes on during the offseason sometimes. Like, that matter of time moment isn't always guaranteed, bro. And eventually that can become your storyline. A team that always gets in their way, a team that always misses out on that doesn't capitalize on the missed opportunities. That becomes who you are if you don't change things ASAP. And right now, this is a team where AJ said that he thought that they had a chance to win. I thought they had an opportunity to get a good lead on Philly. I wouldn't say it was over until it was over, but they definitely had an opportunity to get a couple touchdowns on the board or at least get in the scoring range, and they blew it. So that's kind of where I'm at with the offense. I don't think that they've regressed at all.
Bruh, John Bates had more receptions than Terry McLaurin in this game.
I mean, hey, but we also, you know what else we figured out in this game, AJ? Well, we probably didn't just figure out in this game. We've been kind of thinking this a while, but we done with Diami Brown, are we? I mean, Diami Brown.
That drop was. That was
probably
when he come in the game, you know it's a screenplay. Like,
yes.
I can only imagine a defender when they look at the film and they see personnel number 2s, and you know a screen coming. For some reason, they feel like he's their best run after catch wide receiver, because in maybe the last 3-4 games, they brought him in and thrown him a screen.
Yep.
Shit, all season they've been doing that shit.
That's very predictable.
But his drop was that it was a good. It would have probably put us right within that little field goal range before the.
Buddy dropped a touchdown just a couple days ago,
and it was a point blank touchdown right in his face.
Whenever I see the ball go to him, I'm not even surprised at the result. I already know what's up. Like, you don't even want touchdowns, so you damn sure don't want first downs.
Al too just made me think of that play because he said one target to Terry. I mean, we had more than one target, but that was a play where Jaden tried to get Terry. I think Terry was coming on the crosser, but Terry stopped, and Jaden thought he was going to keep going. And that kind of confused me, because I'm like, is this a chemistry thing? What is going on here? Because it was just off all night with them too. Like, he just couldn't get in sync with Terry. But I just thought that was an odd play right there, where Terry kind of stops and Jaden thinks he's going to keep going. He misses Terry. Like I said,
Jaden was frustrated today, bro.
Yeah, he was.
You actually saw it this time too.
Yeah, on the sidelines, whenever they showed him, you could see the visible frustration.
Shit, after that pick, he was going crazy, bro. Not like literally crazy, but he was like, that's the most animated he's been.
He needs to learn how to run some better routes and better releases. Then maybe we can talk there. But when you're not selling me on anything that you're about to do on your route tree, what do you want? You feel me? Like, I don't know, but maybe we should get to the call-ins because we just I think we just kind of rambling about this shitty ass offense that we just watched for the last couple hours.
Well, if y'all want to call that, somebody was in, they end up dropping. So we got a line or two. So if y'all want to call in, go ahead and use the link again. If you're on Twitter or if you're on Twitch, migrate over to the YouTube side. It's in the description. We'll take a call or two and go from there. But while we do that, let's talk about the good old guys at Underdog Fantasy. It is the best place to play champions. So sign up and use the promo code TrapperDive, deposit and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, like I tell you all the time, it's the best place. It's the best place to be. They got profit boosts that you can pump up your winnings just by a tap, and you can apply your boost to eligible entries. Discounts on certain players' stats to give you a better shot at a big dub. Free picks with the 0.5 on the player's stats. Like Terry McLaurin, tonight he had one catch, I think, for 10 yards. Boy, I'm telling you, if you put that 0.5, you know what I'm saying? You ain't had to worry about getting that 60. Could have got that 0.5 and that'd have been a hit. You'd have hit. But free picks in that aspect, they serve that on Underdog Fantasy as well. I tell you all the time, I use the red zone rush for them. And this week, they got a couple of. Now I'm gonna put my picks out by Sunday, but they got a couple of things that I'm looking into for the red zone rush, and that's obviously when you get your swipes. You swipe left for the players that you don't like, that's going to score a touchdown, but swipe right for the players that you do like, that you think is going to score a touchdown. You get up to 51% profit boost when you do play. So think about that as well when you do your red zone rush. But anyway, go ahead and go download the app if you haven't done so. Hit the promo code TrapperDive once you sign up and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That is promo code TrapperDive. You must be 18 or older, 19 or older in Alabama, in Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or 1-800-639-8783 or text NEXT STEP to 53342. If you're in New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. Hey, Caleb, I see you trying to call in, but somebody was in here earlier. I don't know who. I can't remember who it was, but they dropped. You gotta open up the description. The link is there.
Well, while we wait for Caleb or whoever wants to kind of join in, I just kind of wanted to, I guess, while we at it with this whole post game thing, where are we at with the team going forward? I mean, how do we feel? Are we discouraged after these 2 games is lost here? Or are we confident that this team can kind of bounce back and get this thing back righted?
The only thing that I'm taking, getting off the ledge on is my Super Bowl tickets. That's the only thing I'm off the ledge on there. Okay, that's it. Because honestly,
so no New Orleans. We ain't going to New Orleans.
No New Orleans, bro. I was looking at those tickets, man. I was like, I don't think it's worth the investment. I'm gonna go ahead and chill on FanDuel. You know what I'm saying? I'm not geeking off to hitting the lottos. But seriously, like I really like this particular period is literally something that I've seen coming for some time now. Like I'm literally not surprised that we lost. I'm surprised in the trend that continues to happen. And the trend is where the offensive trend that I spoke of before the ad break. The trend of missed opportunities and not capitalizing in certain situations, but also like the amount of pressure that's given up. Like you're not going to face that many teams in Pittsburgh and Philly who has that amount of pressure that they can bring on a down-to-down basis. But at the end of the day, when you get into the playoffs, bro, and you face those tougher teams, right? And when you face Philly again, because odds are when you play Philly again, that'll probably be for the division. Philly is not about to win out. You're probably going to play them for the division, bro. I just think that's what I think about with this team moving forward. I'm not discouraged. I just think that they're showing the fact that when you are kind of underserved in terms of your talent around your quarterback, bro, you're gonna run into these problems. And they are underserved in talent in some big positions surrounding the quarterback. It is what it is, bro. And on defense, but the defense, again, like I said, is surging. They're doing their thing.
Yeah, man. I think nothing really changes for me. Still a playoff team. Still one of the better teams in the NFL. I think it's tough when you go against the Steelers on Sunday and then you got a division game a couple days later. You don't get a full week of prep. And you lost a devastating game against the Steelers. You feel me? So you should have won. You could have won both of these games. That's the walk away from this overall. Like, you were in both of these games and you were able of winning. You just have not developed a killer instinct yet as a team. That's really what it boils down to. Mual just touched on the lack of talent around your quarterback. Yes, that is very prevalent. I think we all knew that going into this, that they don't have enough talent on that side of the ball. They've superseded expectations offensively thus far throughout the season, but at some point, teams are going to play you a bit differently. Vic Fangio ain't no slouch. He's one of the best defensive coordinators in NFL history. Not even just right now, but NFL history. If a lot of people aren't familiar, he's the one that led those hardball teams with the 49ers with Navarro Bowman, Patrick Willis, Justin Smith, Aldon Smith, Dante Whitner, and so on. Like,
was he the DC on that Broncos Super Bowl team?
No. He ended up becoming the head coach for the Broncos.
Okay.
At some point, but he wasn't. He's just been doing this for a long time. So, going against a rookie quarterback, I think it was more so just the offensive line. Like I said, it was doing a bunch of stunts. Like, they were forcing that offensive line to have to communicate, and those guys weren't communicating well enough or holding up their blocks, and it disrupted everything. And he got the better of the matchup between him and Cliff. And I just think that what you want to see is Joe Witt Jr. continue to formulate his defense. If they're surging right now without Marshawn Lattimore, I can only imagine what he about to dial up when Lattimore is actually on the field. Because I feel like them boys is playing together as a collective. They're communicating very well, like extremely well. They almost got a game-changing fumble recovery. That punch out by Quan Martin, if they could have recovered that would have been huge. So this team is attacking the ball more or whatever and getting the best out of their opportunities. I think there's just some fine-tuning that still needs to happen. Percy Butler, not sure what the hell he does. What's his point? I guess they want him to play some free safety, strong safety, but not necessarily in the box. Hey, man, it's time to give somebody else an opportunity in that particular role. Because, everything that I've seen from him coming out of, what was it, Louisiana? Was it Louisiana Tech?
No, Louisiana Monroe, I think. That's
college he came out of Louisiana. It's the same thing that's displaying on the film in the pros. Bad angles, missed tackles, whatever. But yeah, man, I'm not concerned.
Wait, what we talking about?
Percy Butler. I'm just throwing him into the loop. He had opportunity to make some plays, bro. And
he missed one tackle, bro.
No, he missed 2 tackles. He missed the Jalen Hurts joint.
Jalen Hurts on the sideline?
Yeah.
Bro,
well, he didn't miss that tackle.
He had to chase him down from the middle of the field.
What you out there for?
He just didn't stop him from getting the first down.
They play inverted coverage with Percy, bro. Like, he's literally playing the middle of the field. And when Jalen Hurts he did the same thing with who was the other mobile quarterback that we played in Deshaun Watson. Like, they did this like that far back with Percy. Like, they use him as an inverted safety and they drop him down in the middle of the field to play rover, bro. So that's not a missed tackle. He's chasing him down. And by the way, the Deron Payne fat ass got in his way trying to chase him down. We're not going to talk about that. I'm only just animated, by the way, because I think Percy Butler has played good in his role. So I think it's a little cheap to say that he ain't good off the one missed tackle. I don't disagree that he takes bad angles sometimes.
When I mention his name, I'm talking about the entire season. Tonight just frustrated me even more. But like overall, like when it comes to tackling, like I'm not looking necessarily in the coverage, but tackling wise, he is not a good tackler. But hey, that's a whole nother thing. That's my personal gripe. I'm about to say. That's my personal gripe. I could get on a lot of personal gripes like your man, your superstar running back not running forward for 1 yard.
Yeah, I called it out too. So it is what it is, bro.
But before we get to the call, and I just want to say we are at this point now where Cliff is kind of at the same kind of crossroads that Joe Witt was at the beginning of the season. You know, those first 3 games where we were talking about how historically bad the defense was. Now, the offense isn't that bad as the defense was those first 3 games, but the offense is at a point where they're kind of coming to a halt from how hot they started to where Cliff has to kind of, you know, readjust and reevaluate how he's calling things or how to get this offense going. Because as we just seen in this game tonight, this offensive line got bullied. The last couple of games, Jaden Daniels hasn't been, you know, superstar Jaden Daniels the last 2 games. He's kind of, you know, fallen down to the rookie earth, so to speak. So now the question is going forward for the rest of the season, how does Cliff respond? How does Cliff adjust? Because this has been a thing with Cliff. Like, you know, one of the big things against Cliff has been Cliff's offenses kind of fall off a cliff after the halfway mark of the season.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Drayden said Cliff like 17 times.
Yes.
Bro. Cliff has done Cliff times 1,000 times with Cliff, and he didn't fall off.
And he fell off the cliff.
Cliffhanger.
And yes, we are, and we had a cliffhanger right now. You know, this game just kind of left us on a cliffhanger.
Okay, all right, okay, you want to get faded, bro?
Yes. Yeah. But so how does he respond? This is the big thing. And
Drake on his Mike Tirico.
Hey, we telling stories over here.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, how does he respond? How does he get this offense get back on track? Because this is where people start to talk about how his offense has fallen off a cliff. And this offense hasn't been, well, the last 2 weeks, the offense hasn't been looking that great. So how does he respond? We're in a critical stretch now. Can he get these guys back going? Kind of how Joe Witt got his defense going at this season. So that's the big question going forward right now.
Don't let me forget about the 1 sentence takeaways, because I've been seeing them flood in as we've been talking, and there's some that I'm like, we got to discuss. So we're gonna go ahead and chop it up with Caleb for a second, and then we'll close out with the 1 sentence takeaways. Let me go ahead and change the scene right quick. All right, what's going on, Caleb?
What's up, brothers? Appreciate y'all.
All right, man.
Hey, man, this ain't no love talking slow jam.
Hey, AJ, you know what I do, bro? I always give respect to the host, the co-host of the show. Like, you know, you gotta be respectful. Come on, brother. I saw the whole game. Like, it's I guess now our fans are concerned about that trend of Cliff Kingsbury hitting that wall. You know, when we hired him, a lot of Cardinals fans was like, yeah, y'all gonna like him in the first half of the season, but the back half of the season, it's gonna be questionable. I think Jaden is playing hurt for sure. I think every time he throws the ball, it seems like his ribs is. I think it's really his ribs, to be honest. I don't like it when Cliff does those QB powers up the middle. That shit is dumb to me. I don't know why he does that. But they just need more talent, to be honest. Like, they're just not talented enough. I think the coaching is fine. It's just the talent at the corner position, even at edge rusher to me, and receiver. You know, they got to add talent to those 3 departments fast. I know Jalen Carter seemed like he was beating the hell out of our interior. I was a little surprised because we went up against Dexter Lawrence, and I think he's better than Jalen Carter, and he didn't have no pressures or sacks against us. So I know they play two different styles.
Jalen move a little bit more fluidly too.
Yeah, Jalen is definitely quicker off the ball.
He is. He is. But you know, they 7-4. They got 10 days off. Then they played Dallas. So you know, they got to respond accordingly. Ain't not much you can do in those two games against the Steelers and the Eagles. The Steelers, they could have won that game. It's just that they let it slip away. The Eagles, they just got too much talent for us to overcome. At some point, coaching can only do so much for you. You just need the players. We don't have the players right now. So,
well, let me ask you, Dre, what was because I don't want to mess up your question. You asked AJ and I, do you think, what was it about the season? You said, did our opinion change?
Yeah, basically, how do we feel about this team going forward for the rest of the season? I mean, are we discouraged from what we've seen the last 2 weeks? Or are we confident that this team can turn it around and be what we've seen for the first, 9 games of the season when they started 7-2? Like, where are we? What is the feeling after this game?
My feeling, I'm even keel right now with this team. The back half of their opponents, they're not difficult. They're not hard teams to beat. You got to play Philly again, and then you got to play the Falcons.
Dallas twice.
Yeah, and Dallas twice. I mean, it's a divisional game. You can't really not discredit that or discredit Dallas. You got to respect the opponent. I mean, they're just a shit show right now, so you got to go in there and beat the hell out of them. But I'm not gonna say I'm discouraged. But if it's a close game with Dallas, then it's a problem, in my opinion. Like if you win by like a field goal or like less than a field goal, we've seen this team blow out so many opponents that when we win by like one possession, we're kind of like, you know, surprised. Or when we see Jaden have a game like this, because he set the bar so high for us as fans, when he has a game like this, we just get demoralized. But he's still a rookie at the end of the day. He's going to go through growing pains for sure.
A question for you. This was just the Week 11 game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before the season started, where did you have them sitting after Week 11, record-wise?
Where did I have? AJ, I can only tell you what my record prediction was for them. After Week 11, I'm not really sure. I had their floor at 7 wins, and I had their ceiling at 9.
Okay.
But but to be honest, I felt like realistically the floor could have been much lower. If you just look at it on paper, I felt like you could say we could only win 5 games, but they're playing above expectations right now. They are, and it's due to coaching and Jaden Daniels.
Gotcha.
I agree. They are above. They are playing above expectations. Oh, this is him. Hey, this is guy. Hey, bruh. Hey, he back, bruh. Hey. Fuck you.
He had to ban that man.
He back. I caught his ass, bro.
Hey, so
he couldn't wait.
Real ass out the chat, bro.
So let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think Cliff has hit a wall?
I knew. Hey, I'm sorry. He was a Bears fan, bro. He was a Bears fan, bro.
He couldn't wait, bro.
He's talking about that Hail Murray, bro.
Yeah,
he's a Bears fan. Okay, what was you saying, Caleb?
Do y'all think Cliff hit a wall?
Yeah.
That narrative where you know he phases out in the back half of games.
I don't believe in the narrative per se, but I do think like a quote unquote wall he has hit. I think like there's just moments where I feel like some things are just being like overthunk. Like there's moments where like you kind of stray away from something that's real simple. Like you got 3 yards to go or you got 4 yards to go in terms of converting the first down, and we're trying to be too fancy. Like what was it? I'm sorry. Let's even talk about the last drive.
Bro, he ran a delayed draw on second and one.
A delayed draw that was terrible. Like it wasn't even a successful draw. And then the play after that, you run another run play. Like, bro, you have 2 timeouts. You end up scoring, and you had the ball with 4 minutes left to start the drive, and you end up scoring with 30 seconds left, and you have 2 timeouts.
Yeah,
and you were like, and you waste most of the time inside the 20. I don't know, bro. Like that was probably one of the worst drives. That was probably the second worst drive. That was the worst drive of the day. The second one was the one where they didn't get the first down on 4th.
It felt like they conceded on that last drive. Like, it
made no sense.
Yeah, it just felt like they were giving up at that point. Because then the reason why I say that is because they got the ball in the first half, at the end of the first half, with 19 seconds left, and they were trying to score. Like we're trying to be aggressive and score. Whereas this last drive, you're down 16 points, 26-10, and you're pretty much conceding and giving up and running the ball. You're doing draws and running the ball multiple plays.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Cliff, I don't think he hit a wall. I think the great thing about him being an offensive coordinator versus a head coach, there's someone that's going to hold him accountable. And that person that's going to hold him accountable is Dan Quinn. And I think we heard something earlier this week that, Cliff really hasn't even gotten his bag all the way. And I think that DQ is going to have a conversation with him because you do get a moment to reflect on how the season is going thus far before you jump back into the grind of it, playing the Cowboys next week. And I think he's going to tell them, let's go with creating our niche. The niche is the run game and being productive and producing positive yards, even if it's just 1-2 yards. Once he gets in those negative positions, his play calling is all the way thrown off. In the past couple weeks, he's been slow to get into his groove. Even against Pittsburgh, like he got into a groove once he started spreading out the wide receivers. Like they were able to get better reads and opportunities. In this particular game, to not attempt a pass over 25 yards is criminal. Like, because you could get a PI. Like, you don't even know. You're not even taking deep ball shots. I mean, I don't know if maybe I didn't watch the game in all 22, and I think I could have with Amazon, but some of those plays where they play action off of it, I don't know if they were looking for a deep shot or what exactly. But, yeah, guys just weren't winning, and like we've been saying, they need another wide receiver. Unfortunately, that's not something that you can address this part of the year. Trade deadline was last week, so you got who you got.
but look, as much as we kind of talk about Cliff in this game, I mean, the execution was just not there. I mean, the execution was just, whether it be from Jaden, whether you got guys dropping the ball. I mean, some of the plays were there to be had. You're just not executing like you were. And I do think some of what's hurting Cliff at this point, and I do, Cliff, everyone shares a blame when you're putting up kind of stinker performances. But it's kind of harder when your quarterback is kind of not playing at that level that he was playing at throughout the season. And that's what's kind of hurting this offense. And that's no knock to Jaden. I mean, Jaden's a rookie. And again, I'm not discouraged by Jaden at all. I still think Jaden is a stud. I think he's a star quarterback, but he's allowed these kind of games at this point. Like, we've kind of set this bar so high for Jaden. Well, we're kind of shocked when we see these games, but I do think that some of his, performances these last 2 games is kind of playing into what you're seeing with the offense. He's not playing at the level that he was playing at throughout the season. Now, we do hope that Jaden gets back there, and I'm fully confident that Jaden is going to get back there again. Huge fan of Jaden, and I think he's a goddamn star. But right now, in these last 2 games, he hasn't played at that Jaden Daniels kind of level, and that's kind of where the offense is tailing off a bit. And I don't think it's fair to kind of, place all of the blame on Cliff, even though Cliff is going to take a lot of that responsibility because he's the offensive coordinator, and the offense is kind of sputtering off a little bit. But once you get Jaden back to playing at that level that Jaden has kind of played at, I think that's when the offense will start to look like the offense we've kind of known to, or grown to know so far.
Hey, can I ask y'all a quick question? Because I was just thinking about it while you were talking.
Hold on, I just want, because we're gonna get you can ask the question. I just want to make sure Caleb get his answer so we can. We're gonna go ahead and get Caleb out of here so we can get the one sentence takeaways and stuff. That's
I'm about to head out. I gotta get up early for work.
Hey man, we ain't asked you about all that.
Appreciate
Did Cliff hit a wall, bro? Yes or no? Then if you got a skirt.
Do I think he hit a wall? I'm gonna say no. To be honest, I don't think he had. I the only reason why I changed that answer is if the next 2 weeks it's the same thing. But I'm not gonna say he's hit a wall yet. But I think we still have a chance to possibly win this division. They just gotta beat Philly and
Hey, get they
beat
shit
Dallas
together.
twice. Yeah.
Hey man, appreciate you checking in, big
Yeah,
dog.
y'all have
Handle
a
your
good
business,
night.
bro.
Yes,
All right,
sir,
bro.
man.
And all right, so what was you saying, AJ? What was your question?
I was gonna ask, like, have y'all noticed? Like, it seems like every offense, even the Eagles were off offensively tonight as well. I'm wondering if it's easier for defenses to turn around and play on a Sunday and then play Thursday versus the offense. Because I don't think this year or previous years on Thursdays, I've seen an offense yet play a complete game and not look sloppy. So I was just thinking, like, you guys gamble or whatever, so you're doing same game parlays and stuff like that. Are you noticing like these offenses are much more sloppier on Thursdays than defenses?
Well, I know games are much more sloppier on Thursdays altogether.
It's a
I
game
don't.
by game
You
basis.
really don't see. You. Yeah, you really don't see like high scoring games like last week with the Bengals and the Ravens. That was an anomaly. Um, that those two playing the way they did on a Thursday, but that's really about it, bro. Like you
But
don't
then
see
you
too
have the
many.
games like who did the Falcons play a couple of weeks ago? But that was a high scoring game on a Thursday night. I
That was
forget, but
probably that was like week 3, week 4. That was Tampa Bay, fully
yes,
healthy.
yeah.
So
So I mean,
they was going back and forth.
it's a game by game thing. I guess it just depends on
It
who's
just
playing.
depends, bro. And
Yeah,
those are some solid defenses. I mean, excuse me,
yeah,
some solid offenses. Excuse me.
yeah.
Oh, once it's takeaways. All right, here we go. Let's start with the top. We'll go through the top. Shelly, can we get back to the burgundy and gold unis now?
Oh my.
Newport Hokey, call me crazy, but I will rest JD against Tennessee and Dallas. I actually responded to him. Said I think he'll be fine with this 10-day break. People took issue with me saying that. I don't
How
think
you
that he'll
watch a
be.
whole game and think about Jersey after a loss?
Yeah, shout out to Shelly. I said the same thing. I was like, I hope you're not blaming this result on the uniforms. Bucket said second in short tendencies all year, essentially just alluding to Cliff Kingsbury. Payne 21. I'm with you, Payne. Kick the effing field goal.
Yes, yes.
Go Sam Go said Jaden Daniels looked like a rookie. Brian Original said we not as ready as I thought we were. Or if Daniels is still hurt, he needs to sit down and heal. He spelled heel like your actual Achilles heel.
HEEL.
I can't decide which sentence I want to go with. We'll go with the one that you spelled everything right. But shout out to you. All right, let me get to the ones that I really wanted to. Shout out to Amani. I see you in there. 301 Xavier. We aren't a serious team until we close out. Mike Kordowski, the offense has been figured out.
That's
where
it.
Is Nedwin Stimpson? Shout out to you, man. You be showing up a lot. Time to slow our roll a bit. Where is the one? Dang, I didn't realize there was that many responses. I'll be getting good Lord. I gotta find them. That's the point of it. That's the point. Hold on. Give me a couple seconds, bro. Jake Dutton, we aren't ready for good teams.
People so emotional after.
I know it's so reactionary.
Yeah, like Kane Corso who said, "Get
funny.
De'Ami Brown to F off this team."
Well, we with him on that. I mean, you know.
I'm about to say, look at Charles.
I'm not too far off of Kane Corso, you know.
Okay, boat action Guppy. JD looks mediocre. Wow. You know, there's actually some. Now I do believe this 100%. There's actually some Skins fans in the fan base right now that's been waiting for Jaden to look bad.
Oh yes,
they can come out.
Hey man, just tell him he looked like Sam Howell that they was so hyped about last week.
Yes.
Hey, somebody actually said that.
All the excuses. They gave him all the excuses.
Yeah, somebody actually said that. All right, so I can't find the ones. Maybe they responded to other maybe they responded to other tweets of mine. So that's probably why I can't find it. But anyway, I'll go this. Shout out to Rio. But Rio said we are on fraudulent alert. That's one tweet I saw. That was our own. He was talking to himself, but he said we're on fraudulent alert. But those were there were some mentions of mine that I saw. Here it is. One typical Washington free fall. That's one from Ash and Obi. Oh Lord, Ass Man the Greek.
Hey, look. You shouldn't have even read his damn handle. I mean, I think fans need to chill the fuck out. Like,
no, and that's the thing.
Like, really chill the fuck out.
Oh, somebody else said, F this shit, man.
Wow.
He said, bruh. Like, who is that? Dawson, Jordan, bruh. They really, bruh. It's like, how you ain't see this potentially happening against Pittsburgh and Philly? That's why I'm so confused.
But see, Mo, this is my thing. If we lose to Dallas, I get this type of response. But losing to Pittsburgh and Philly
it's two playoff teams right now.
Yeah, like in a short week. Sunday to Thursday, you playing these two teams and you lose these two games and you're 7-4 at the end of the day. You still got a whole season to go and you still, nothing is free falling right now. Now, if they lose to Dallas, I get some of these responses.
I don't even if they lost to that.
You got 6 games.
Rationalize that. You got 6 games remaining.
Ain't no way.
You got 6 games remaining. In all honesty, you probably just need to win 2 to clinch a playoff berth.
How did Pat the diabetic get back?
Oh, he got back, bro.
He made a new page.
Look what he said. He said fat Jaden Daniels on the left.
On left, what? Oh, damn! He called you fat. He got you that time.
I can't put him in timeout.
He had CD Lamb. What he get? Malnourished CD Lamb.
Malnourished. It won't let me ban him, bro. Oh, I gotta really block him now. Damn.
I hope your blood sugar hits 40 tonight,
bro.
And you go into a coma.
Oh man. Ain't no way you that, bro. He that mad after the Hail Mary, bro. Ain't no way, bro.
He pissed, man.
Look, man, go ahead and make you that new account because I'm sure you can still see us. Go ahead and make you that new account, bro. Go ahead and find yourself back into this chat. That's what you're gonna do. And make sure you put your real picture out there so we can cook your ass, bro.
Hey.
But yeah, man, I really do think that's why I brought those. I was looking for those specific tweets, bro, because I think people are really not understanding the situation that Washington is in. And even if they do understand it, it's like they forgot. Like they should have been prepared for this possibility while knowing that this is still a good football team. And it's unfortunate that people have like waited till the actual results of the game to now sit here and think that their opinion should change. We're still in good shape. Washington's still in good shape. You cannot lose to Dallas. I don't give a damn about none of that.
Right.
You lose to Dallas, then we got some serious discussions to talk about and readjusting expectations. But outside of that, right now, I'm not even thinking about them losing to Dallas. I'm 100% confident in getting that dub.
After Dallas, they play Tennessee, right?
Yeah, it's Dallas and Tennessee. Tennessee, mind you, pause. Top 5 defense in the NFL. So that's a bad team with a strong defense. So you'll really get to see what type of time this offense is on. Because given that Washington played 2 playoff caliber teams with 2 strong defensive units, you really gonna see what type of time this offense is on when they play against Tennessee. So,
but that's a game where you don't want to see the defense take a regression step. Because that offense is nothing to be worried about in Tennessee. Even Dallas, Dallas offense right now without Dak Prescott is nothing that really should scare you as a unit.
Careful, they got that man Zeke.
Yes. Well,
You
Rico
said-
Dowdle now. I mean, they're going the Rico Dowdle route. But no, Dallas and Tennessee are two offenses that you don't want to see this defense take a regression step in. I mean, and I'm with you on that. You want to see. I mean, that you may be worried a little bit about the offense, especially against a Tennessee unit, because Tennessee uglies games up. I hate watching any Tennessee Titans game because I know that games are going to be ugly when they play those games, and it could possibly get to an ugly point with Washington's offense in that game. But you do not want to see Tennessee win that game on their offensive side of the football against our defense when we're supposed to be surging. So that's something to watch for going forward.
All right, let's close out with Terry McLaurin. There was one quote that I want to at least get on the show, and we'll close out with Terry on this. This is him after the game in the locker room on the Eagles loss, and here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easy to preach brotherhood when everything's going good, when you're winning and having a good time and things like that. Kind of those. What your program is built on, this is when it needs to stand out. So, we hang our hat on our brotherhood, and this is definitely the time that we need to stand up for that.
Prevented the offense from getting going today?
That's a good question. I feel like, you got to give them credit. That's a good defense. I mean, that's a really good defense on all three levels. So it definitely posed their challenges. I just didn't feel like we executed like we should have. And, when you kind of let teams hang around, I think the defense did a great job. You kind of let teams hang around and you don't capitalize off of the opportunities we had offensively. Their offense is going to eventually make plays. So, I just don't think we executed well today. Yeah.
All right. We're going to end it with Terry's words. Fellas, we have made it to Friday. Everybody, appreciate y'all who joined in live and thugged it out with the Graveyard Crew. Appreciate Kayla checking in. Calling in. We can do these a little bit more often, but we'll take one for now. Don't forget the link is always going to be in the chat when we do. I mean, link in the descriptions when we do call in. So keep that in consideration, fellas. Y'all stay safe this weekend, man. I know I'm hitting Nashville, so I'm looking for the Nashville Wolves. I'm looking.
Good luck with that, brother.
It's like nah, man.
Sound like a slight forecast of flurries.
Yeah.
Flurries.
Yep, couple flurries in the mix. I'm cool with that for a day or two.
Yeah. It's some quality.
Okay, all right. I hear you, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to the experience. But all right, that's gonna wrap it up. Y'all stay safe. Enjoy y'all weekend. All that good stuff. We out of here. Peace.
Chop it down, chop it down, chop it down, you gon' chop it down. Chop it down, you gon' chop it down. Damn, set, watch him throw the ball, we gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Die.